Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round one of Sim Racing World's SimRigs V8 ProAm series on a Sunday night at Zandvort Grand Prix. And tonight, you've got myself, Steve Sinkovic, as a host. We've got Brett Wheeler stepping in as a backup due to Nathan being out this week. And we have a special guest, the dulcet tones of the legendary Peter Gretton. How are you, Pete?
I'm very well, mate. Dulcet, that's probably putting it exactly the way I would have done it as well. Good evening, Steve, and to all the viewers. How good is it? Supercars on a Sunday night. It's packed weekend of motorsport here in Australia, at least. Anyway, hope the viewers are going to enjoy this. But we're here at Zandvort. Supercars in a packed field. Round one, slates are clean, so gloves are off.
All gloves are off, and we've got old and new drivers here. So we've got people like Tannock, Lob coming back in for action. Past winners and past champions of the last 3 or 4 seasons are all here, ready to fight out for the sick trophies that we've been giving out. And the new ones are on the way for season 3 as we speak. So I think the boys know they've got a lot to fight out for here.
Yeah, and I'm having a look at the driver list for the first time right now. And yeah, there's going to be some battles as a few guys have a bit of fun in practice, but yeah, good showing of Fishy boys, and the Froggy boys are in there as well, and a couple of other names to mention that they're going to be up the pointy end of the stick. But well, you know this league better than most, running and owning it, Steve. So who do you think's going to be favourite to be in the pointing end of quali and the race?
Mate, it's going to be tough. There's so many quality drivers out here, and this track is, we're talking the Zandvort here, you know, 4.26 kilometres, 14 turns. It's not an easy one to get a rhythm on. It's the beginning of the season. A few boys are going to be rusty. I know they're out there doing other things as well, but you know, you've got guys that are really good quality drivers out there. You've got, at the moment, Darren Lobb, who's sitting as fastest on the grid. You've got Blake Delaney, Bruce Tannock. Zachary Vlasbom's been doing really well in the vets and the scops. Sorry, not the vets, in the scops. Matty Jones, another legendary fast driver. Nothing against Joe Mahoney, but he's not quite up there. Michael Whiting, we know that the Kingfish is an excellent driver. You've got past champions in here like Dyke, Coleman. The list goes on, mate. It's like, really, there's probably 10 guys that could easily take out tonight.
Not to mention you've got the young fella Ty Delaney in there as well. But as we go through a couple of the drivers, we have a look at them. Well, just testing the limits and some here at Zandvort. But you're dead right. Some of these drivers haven't driven around each other. I suppose in practice in the officials, but as a league, some of them haven't driven around each other. So let's hope that at least lap 1 we see just as good as what we were in the 86 as well for half the lap, I guess.
Well, that was a crazy sight to see, with 40 plus cars on track. Tonight we've got, I think it's just under that. We expected to have a first round fairly quiet with Bathurst on today. A few people are probably hungover. I'm surprised me and you aren't hungover.
Always time. Night's still young. Michael Whiting, fastest lap, 134.7. So far, still not the quickest, 33.8. I think Lob's got it out here. What's the quickest you've seen around here, Steve? And because I'm not too familiar with this track, Zandvort, but it looks
track
like
is fairly new. It's a fairly new track, so this is our first time out on this track from my experience as well. So 133.8 is the quickest I've seen so far as well. But you're looking at some of these other boys that are still getting to know it a bit. Blake Delaney's nearly got himself into the 33s, so he's not far off it at the moment. We're looking at Michael Whiting on screen at the moment, and he's tearing around this car. Looks like he's got himself a bit of a slick stream going on as well.
Yeah, well, it's what's quali's about it, and I love an open quali session as well, and not too many leagues do it these days, Steve. But to find your mate and get a good lap in, it shows, it gives you a little bit of a taste what it's going to be throughout the race. And these times, I think they're not going to be relative because it's a fairly long race here tonight. So qualifying's important, but not so much.
Yeah, and it seems to be a track that there's a few hairpins and tight corners for some passing to go. You're looking at 1, 2, 3 hairpins, so there's going to be some late braking and some dives in there, and it's real unusual because I'm used to seeing all these cars for the past few seasons in certain colours, and the boys have changed it up this season. So we're looking at Bruce Tannock there in his Magan Turbo. He usually used to race in a blue car. At the end of last time he raced with us, he came out in the black car that looked like a John Play special. I just saw Blake Delaney on screen, and he's gone from a white livery to a black matte livery. So a few of the boys are changing things up. There's Blake there. So his livery's changed again. It was white last season. So it's going to take our eyes a few races to get used to who's who in the zoo.
Yeah, well, I think it's all part of it, isn't it? New season. These guys have got to endure new drivers, new faces, new competitors. And we've mentioned a couple of times now they're not too sure, so they're going to take it easy, and we've got to try and stay over it as well. But you know what? We're going to make a mistake here and there, but I'm sure we'll be onto it come round 2 or 3.
I think the viewers are more than used to me making mistakes, mate.
Even on race night. I had to put that in there, Steve. That was a little bit of a stab, excuse me.
Well, people are already out there, mate. Mark Horton, great to hear Pete back commentating. Yes, it took a little bit of persuading to get him back out here. Actually, I lied. It wasn't a lot of persuading. Pete said straight away, "Oh, that'd be interesting."
I actually said today to a couple of the boys who were watching the great race, and I said, "There's one thing that I miss about broadcasting and commentating is Bathurst 1000s. People say I'm mad, but yeah, that's what I missed about it. But I didn't think I'd be back. But well, I can talk, and I love
dragged you out of the coffers.
Yeah, you did.
Well, we've got what have we got left? 4 minutes left of quali time. This is the serious time of qualies. There's a few cars popping out on out of the pit right now, and it looks like the Fishy boys are going out for a bit of a drift session. It's Miller, followed by Blake, followed by Coleman. So they've got themselves in a position where they've got some drag off the back of these boys. So it's the serious part of the session now.
What do you think the ordering will be within the chatter? I suppose the fastest person would have to lead, so no one trips over each other, because although this can be very beneficial, and these guys are very experienced in doing this as well, this can trip all 3 of them up. I'm pretty sure they've got a banker in there anyway. Blake Delaney's sitting on P2, but I was just saying that that could happen. But when you come out as a group, you all need to put in the effort and to put a perfect lap in, because especially if the fast guy, they all make mistakes, he can trip up and, well, your whole team's gone.
They do. And there was a mistake made right in the back of the screen, which we just saw the arse end of, and that was I'm not sure who it was, but someone went right up the back of Blake Delaney, but I haven't heard anything come up. A few more people are out on YouTube land. Listen, people, we will answer your questions. If there's someone you want us to bring up on screen, someone that you're watching that you'd like us to showcase, let us know on YouTube. You know the story. I don't mind you guys taking the piss out of me or having a bit of a laugh, and I'm sure Pete doesn't either. Right, Ray Douglas, go Brucey White. Jace is in Bathurst this week and will be gone for the Lodge Brothers cars. Oh, well done. Where's Shibby? Shibby's not on tonight, mate. He's got the week off, so he'll be back on Tuesday night for his broadcast.
Yeah, we'll stay interactive one week throughout tonight. It's always good fun hearing what you guys think, and you're right. I don't mind taking the piss here and there. It's all part of it. 2 minutes 14 though. I think if you're not on a lap, you better get out there quick, smart to be able to get another lap down. But Darren Lobb, I think he looks certain to take pole. 1:33.8, only driver to be in the three. Steve 34.0 though. Delaney closely by. He'll reset after that bit of a mistake earlier on in his run. But then a couple of other names. Matty Jones, he's fifth, and Jamie Dyke will follow. But well, what do we got? Top 10, top 11 drivers. Field spread's only a second.
Yeah, it's very, very close, and we found that in this series last year, there was only like about a second and a half to 2 seconds from the top to the bottom. It was very, very close. Even the AMs were really pushing it up high. Even you can see now, Zachary Vlasbom was an AM last year, and he's sitting in third for 1:34.299, just popped up. Looks like some of the boys are having a few incidents out there that are calling out to race control, and they're working it out amongst themselves.
Shout out to all the boys in race control as well. They're going to be busy with this amount of drivers, but I'm sure all the right calls will be made in the end. But tireless effort and loveless effort, I think I've said in many times in commentary, Steve, loveless, because everyone wants to point the finger at race control, but they do a stellar job, and they've done it in past season, a great job, and I'm sure they're going to do a great job this season.
It's never the driver's fault until they watch it back and they go, "Oh yeah, it was me."
Yeah, I've done a bit of driving. Well, yeah, I've attempted to drive lately, and it's never my fault, even though I'm dog. You know what?
Yeah. Look, at the moment, people, we've got half a minute left, so it's not really going to change a hell of a lot. But we've got Darren Lobb in first place, followed by Blake Delaney second, Zachary Vlasbom third, Bruce Tannock fourth, Matty Jones fifth, Jamie Dyke sixth, Ty Delaney seventh, Joe Mahoney eighth, Michael Whiting ninth, and Chris Miller 10th, with a couple of the boys following after that. So normally we'd have an enduro, and that would be our top 10 shootout. That would normally be your top 10 shootout, boys, but tonight they're going to be the guys with the prime positions.
Thomas Freeman's a little bit further down as well. Here's a name to look out for, as is Connor Nixon. A couple of guys there. I'm not too sure whether didn't put the practice in, or a little bit unfamiliar, or maybe got a few sandbags in the good old boot. But there's a couple of names that are intriguing me, why they're down a little bit further down than what's normal, but what I class as normal.
Dodds is another one as well that's down there at the moment. So there's a few that are drifting. Yeah, there's a few boys. Braden Sagassa's usually a lot faster than that. So there's a few boys that are missing near the top end of town. But we've got whoever's on their lap now will be probably their last go with 1:22 left.
1:33.8, that's the quickest out there. And you'll notice the P and the A next to their name on down the left-hand side totem. So we've got a mixture, Steve, of pro and AM drivers for this race.
Well, we just had a call come through for Blake Delaney. He's got a pit lane start for impeding during the qualifying. So he's gone from second. I believe that was him, car 08, they said. And so he'll be starting from the pit. He won't be happy.
Yeah, race control, not wasting any time to exercise. Well, what we were just explaining, Loveless, that would have been tough, but I'm sure that would have been the right call. If you break the rules, well, that's what happens. 34-0, the closest, the next closest driver to get into the threes, and he'll find himself starting at the back, out of pit road. Much harder to start in there, but turn one with a lot of these drivers.
So here's your top 10 for the first qualified session for the simrigs.com V8 Supercars ProAm Season 4 at Zandvort. Darren Lobb in the prime position of the 133.811, followed by Blake Delaney, Zachary Vlasbom, Bruce Tannock, Matty Jones, Jamie Dyke, Ty Delaney, Joe Mahoney, Michael Whiting and Chris Miller. So we'll find out soon whether that penalty is correct for what I've heard, or it looked like it might have been because it just moved around just then.
We've got the starting grid up on screen now as well. Darren Lobb and Blake Delaney. So we're showing up on the screen now that they're going to start alongside each other. Zachary Vlasbom and Tannick will start off on row number 2. And Matty Jones and Jamie Dyke. Watch for Jamie Dyke to move up. They start on row number 4. I think we're up 2 or 3. Ty Delaney and Joe Mahoney. They'll start alongside each other, Steve.
Michael Whiting, followed by Chris Miller, 2 teammates. And behind them, we've got Travis Daly and Matty Stewart from MX Raps, followed by Anthony Wiesem, new driver to the series, and David Kirby from Fishy. Behind them with Thomas Freeman, another Fishy boy, followed by Brad Double from the Go Slow team, another new entrant into the series, followed by Connor Nixon with a new livery, and Braden Sagassa. Ex-teammates surpassed.
And we got Cowie and Dodds. They'll row up alongside each other. David Nash and Matt Whitaker. Have a look, another Fishy boy down there a little bit. Ed Hayden and Dave Coleman. You got the pool down here with Fishy boys, and Douglas Gowans and Bruce White will start alongside each other. And the field keeps going. John Van Ree and Shane Newens.
The lights are going. They're just about to go on us. What a massive grid this is. Have a look at this, people.
It took a little bit to get through that field, but how good's that look for round 1 here at Zandvort?
Well, it looks amazing, mate, and it's going to be a bit of a lucky pick if we can even get 1 or 2 car names right as they come through here. Let's just hope it's clean and fast. Darren Lobb is in the front row with the Mag and Turbo livery, followed by... It still looks like it's Blake Delaney beside him. No, it's not.
I think we may have a blank spot there. Let's carry on. But we're off. Oh, it all looks like we've gone through. We've got a lot of weaving in the midfield. The leaders though look like they're going to come around turn 1, being a hairpin. We've got a slow car a little bit further back. He's fell through, but it all looks good. Pretty much, Steve. We got through. Bit of action in the midfield, but the leaders, great start from the top 5.
A few 3 wide earlier on, but now they've got themselves in the 2 wide, and it looks like one of the new boys, which I can't. Oh, that's Connor Nixon, I think, coming on the outside, holding the line.
Oh, we've got a bit of a spin here.
Oh, we've had a fish go off. It's spun, hit the wall, and come back on. Matty Whitaker's hit the wall and kept going, then caused a bit of a concertina as he comes through. The boys are all still flying around as they go, and we are into a replay.
Gets loose, I think, on his own. I think a little bit behind. He taps a teammate as well, so that must have hurt.
Yeah, 2 or 3 cars copped that in that one. Yeah, it looks like Cowie's just taken the door on someone. We'll let that to the RC team. They're looking at that now. Everything's still going straight. There's no yellow flags, nothing. The boys have seemed to got themselves very quickly into single row format. And we've got Bruce Tannock, who's made a bit of a jump in the ladder, all the way to Jamie Dyke in second, Matty Jones third, Ty Delaney fourth. So there's been a bit of a jump in their series. Where did our Darren Lobb go? He's got himself all the way to drop down. So what we had was a massive grid start, but we also had a very big pit crew entry as well. So the boys had to wait for the drivers to go past, and then off they went.
Yeah, that was a strange one, wasn't it? Let's get into it. We'll restart timing and we'll get back underway. A little bit of a different line there. The inside car, he's going to take the lead with
he's
a
lost the
spinner on the
tail there.
backfield. That's another fishy, boy. I think they're a little bit hard on the tyres early on. Look to go around by themselves. We might get another look at it if we can later on, but it looked to be just getting on the throttle. Cold tyres, possibly.
Definitely cold tyres, yeah. The track's looking pretty clean apart from that. That looks like it could be Blake Delaney on the way back there. But the boys are just settling into a nice groove. Couple of cars going too wide. Just feeling themselves out a bit.
We've got Connor Nixon. He started a little bit further back. He was one of them names that I said that I was surprised he started a little bit further back. He's moved up. He's up in the 12, really just well outside the top 10. But I've seen a couple of moves in the back shots that we've been seeing that Connor Nixon's been putting a few shots on his competitors.
Yeah, he did really well in the New Zealand League last season, and believe he won it, or he came second. But yeah, this is a welcome back for him. So Bruce Tannock's got himself up front. He's got a half a second on Jamie Dyke, Matty Jones, Ty Delaney, Michael Whiting, Chris Miller. Now that is a bunch of fish chasing a Tannock.
Tannock, he wants to keep that little bit of a buffer, but remember, the race isn't only 5 laps long. I'm not even sure the duration. So what have we got? 50. That's counting 60. Down. So we got 56 minutes. So 1 hour timed. Just goes to show I didn't prep at all for this one. But
There's
1
Matty
hour.
Stewart yeah, we've got a long way to go. Matty Stewart being chased down by one of the PSR boys. I think it's Travis Daly. Yep, it is Travis Daly. Followed by. Travis is being followed by Connor Nixon. And Connor's taken the dive down on the inside on the brakes and held it well. Really well. Well done, Connor. Nice clean pass. Oh, but Travis is not giving up so quickly. He's decided he's going to do the same across the other corner. And they've got a bit of overlap, but I think Connor's way past it and gone. There's Travis,
Travis
back
now.
his position.
Yeah, well, attack is just as good as defense. Some people like to attack rather than have you in the mirror. It could be a tactic, but Connor's really got the eyes on. And at least pulled a little bit of a gap early on.
Well, he's up. Connor started in 17th. He's got himself up to 12th, so he's doing really well. Our biggest mover at the moment is David Kirby from 14th to 8th position, so he's done really well.
Yeah, a few big movers in here. Oh, there's a big moment in front of him.
Oh,
there's a big moment. Yeah, good driving there. Moment. He'll have to be a little bit cautious. He'll probably succumb to this bit of pressure now. Connor, his rears would be a little bit hotter. Is he? He's not though. He hasn't lost much pace.
No. Travis is getting a nice line there. Connor's made a mistake and gone wide. He's feeling the pressure. Travis is actually doing a good job, and he's got pressure from behind him from Sagassa. And Sagassa's no slouch out there. He's a fast driver.
And look up ahead of him too. We just had a little bit of a tease that there's
there he goes.
Sagassa on the inside. Sagassa up the inside. Battles everywhere you look too. Remember, this is just outside the top 10, and we've seen Silvestro do something like that earlier and hold on to position.
Yeah, that cost Travis a bit because who was that behind him as well? Nearly took the spot. Noble coming through. And the thing was, I think Travis just felt the pressure a bit. He just got a little bit too much dirt on that right rear wheel, and that cost him dearly.
Head down though, 53 minutes still to go. Tannock, Dyke, Jones, Delaney and Whiting, that's your 5. Brad Doble, he's sitting a little bit further back in 13th position, but it's good to see all the AMs and the pros mixing it up. Oh, big dive down the inside. Oh, plenty of racing room given. I think it surprised him how quick he come into it. And
yeah,
big draft section there. You got to be careful because you do come into that corner carrying a lot more
Looks
speed,
like-
and looks like he's going to get it done.
Brad might have been a bit hard on his tyres early on because he looks like he's having a bit of struggle with getting the car turning and rotating. Brad Dabble's a new boy in the series from Slow Mo Racing. But I was just about to say, have a look at the timing tower all the way to 9th position. We've got less than it's changed. It was less than half a minute, half a second. But now there's spread out a little bit at between Ty and Whiting. Blake Delaney's called something in, so he's in an incident with someone.
Yeah, so a few moments by a few of the drivers calling in race control, but I think they've got their heads down now, and I think the guys have just got to cool it, run through their strategies, and I'm not too sure what they're going to get on fuel. Supercar's pretty good. You'd probably say you'd be able to do this race hour on probably one stop. Tyres is probably going to be more than fuel because this track, it looks challenging. Steve, I haven't done any laps around here.
It looks like there'd be a fair bit of tyre wear on this sort of track, but there's a lot of rotation, a lot of camber coming around some of these corners. The straights are pretty with the hard blah blah with the 3 hairpins into it. Some tough braking zones as well. So that's going to add to the wear as well as these tough corners.
Time will tell. We'll definitely see the times drop off when that starts to occur, but.
Joe Mahoney's got a bit of pressure on him now by David Kirby, sitting at 0.2, 0.3 behind him. He looks like he's just waiting to pounce and just sussing out where he's going to go.
I suppose that's what's good when round one you're not just eyeing off your opponents for this race, you're eyeing them off for the rest of the season as well. When can you chuck it down there and have a good crack, and when can you not? And who's in the incidents tonight you're probably going to avoid next week, but it's all an eye-opener, and let's see what they can do. But the Fishy boys they're showing what they can do, and there's a big handful of them in the top 10 at least. There
is, and we're missing tonight the WKMP boys, who are generally been title fighters for the last 2 seasons, but they're not available tonight. I believe they might be at Bathurst. So we're missing out on those boys, and very fast in this series, in the last few series.
That would that be Nathan Brown and Blake Warboys?
Blake Warboys, Scotty Gamble, Blake Gallen. There's about 6 of them. There's a few. They had 3 of them last season, and there's a total of 6 of them now as well. So they're coming out to match the Fishers on track.
There's the hook for the viewers. There's quite a formidable team that are missing here tonight. We're not missing any action at all with the drivers we've got. Not in one little bit, but look at this. This is the battle.
Dykey's he's got the sniff. And this is a battle of old. We saw this battle about season 1 this year. Dykey and Bruce were getting into it a lot, 1 and 2s and 3 and 4s, and Dyke knows how Tannock drives, and Tannock knows how Dyke drives. So you'll watch Tannock covering the line just then. If you saw him, he went a little bit shallow to shut the door a bit earlier than normal. So they know exactly how each other drives, and they'll be right on the ball.
The 080. I've had the pleasure of watching a lot of Jamie's driving, and I tell you, he's quick, but he won't show you that. He won't show his hand. He's a driver. He knows where the race is at. 49 minutes to go. He's probably just going to shadow Tannock here or Tannock, and see what he can do in the dying stages. But also, what they're masters of is saving fuel. And why would you make a diver and lead this race when you're sitting behind quite comfortably? It looks like he is the quickest guy out, the quicker guy in the pair at the minute. We'll keep an eye on their lap time, Steve. But, the benefit of staying behind like he is now is, well, A, you could pressure him into a mistake, and B, well, he's going to save that fuel. So watch when they do have to pit. Jamie's probably going to put the foot down when Bruce goes in, and we may see a strategy unfold.
100%. We've just had Thomas Freeman getting a black flag for failing to leave room contact on lap 3. So he's got himself a drive-through. What you were saying, mate, is spot on. The difference between a fast driver and a racing driver is that a racer races the whole length of the race. He's not just out there trying to get the fastest lap every single time he's out there. He races to a strategy, races to a pit strategy, races to what his opponents are doing. And Jamie right now, he's gonna have a sniff every now and again, but he's also drifting behind him, saving fuel at the same time, saving tyres at the same time. All these sort of things are going through his mind. And then Bruce as well. Bruce is thinking the same thing at the other end. He goes, I've got to treat my tyres well here because Jamie's going to have better tyres a few laps down. So we're not talking about stupid racers here. We're talking about guys who are really, really smart.
And we'll watch it all play out in the dying stage of the race. And remember, we've still got 3/4 of an hour to go. We're only first quarter in the first round of the season. The rounds this season, Steve. What do you end up going with? How many rounds do we have to the pleasure of watching these guys race around on SRWTV?
We've got 9 rounds that we've got for this season, so it will finish right on the end of November in the last round. But we've got a bit of housekeeping to do, mate. Just quickly. AMS was at 45% fuel. Yes, Reese, this is the same for the pros. And who was that with the nasty comment? Brad Baldwin. Brad, well, just for your information, mate, our shows this week have been interrupted by people that have had a family emergency and haven't been able to come across. So the file that has the Neuropower logo on it is not available until Tuesday night, and I have spoken to Truzo about it and apologise for it. So thank you for your nice comments, mate. Appreciated.
Keep the comments coming through. We'll deflect the
100%,
ones that aren't so nice,
100%.
and we'll engage in all of you. It's pretty good to have a vast opinion of viewers. But how good's the racing here? 45 minutes to go. Tannic Dyke. A little bit of a gap there now between them guys. Matty Jones, he's there, and a guy, he's no slouch, 0.8 seconds off Dyke, and Whiting 2.5 seconds off them. So the top 3 are within striking range, but I suppose we'll be able to work out who's going to win this thing in probably about 40 minutes. But also, we had a bit of a rough start, didn't we, with a few incidents, but look at these guys now. We got trains and trains of cars, I should say, not chains. But and they're all working in together. I think strategy playing out, laps clicking out away, and it's all a time game.
It is, and there's some fights going all over the place. Like even from the front and back, Darren Lobbs just passed he's made his way again past Anthony Visma at the back. We've also just had Douglas Gowans get a black flag for failing to hold brakes under an incident, so he must have had a spin, didn't hold his brakes, and rolled out into someone. So the boys are fighting from the top to the back, all the way through.
Keeping race control busy, that's for sure, and doing a great job. There's a little bit of a move further back with Connor Nixon again. These top 5 drivers, or not top 5 drivers, the 5 drivers we're looking, or group of 5, gaggle, if I may, of drivers. You can see they're different in skill level, but they're all working together and just working together. Like I said, they're just clicking over laps. And I think Connor Nixon, he's still battling with the rear tyres. I've just seen a few moments, the last few corners, just still suffering with the rear, a little bit happy.
Yeah, he might have gone out a bit too hard, too quick. Because with these tyres now, if you do go out too hard, too quick, it takes a while for him to come back. He's losing a bit of pace there, isn't he? He's dropped, what is he down? 1.5, 1.8 down from Kirby. And Kirby is tucked in behind Joe Mahoney with 3/10s behind him.
I wonder if he's got the stream up with me.
First of our pits here. First of our pits is Brian Degasser has pitted just now. That is, what are we on? Lap 11, so that's an early one. Maybe that was for damage. It must be for damage.
I'm not too sure if you've done any homework Steve. But I think a one-stop's doable, or you think they'll have to stop twice?
I do think. I think it'll be a one-stopper. I think that's a very, very early one. I'm not sure what the sitch is there, but I didn't look. We had issues with our streams this week. The last-minute situation with from Tuesday night onwards. We didn't go to air with Tuesday, so I didn't even get a chance to watch it. So I can't even tell you what. Normally, I'd watch the race and I'll be able to tell you what strategies people are using, what sort of consumption it was for the fuel. But we've got some drivers out there who drove on Tuesday night. If you want to share with us in YouTube, please let us know. What was the pit strategy last time around? What was the fuel consumption like?
Be great to hear. Let's see what they can do, and I'm sure these guys have done plenty of practice. David Kirby is one that sits plenty of time in the rig. He's 0.3 seconds off the driver in front of him, which is Mahoney. And notice them guys, masters of fuel saving. I've said it millions of times now. They've always situated themselves with the car behind. We've got a car just letting them guys go, and plenty of sportsmanship I've noticed out here today. Is
very clean driving. Very clean driving. I don't think I've seen anyone really throw the elbows out yet.
40 minutes to go. Knight's still young. Ty Delaney is pushing on through.
Well, Ty Delaney got a fourth in the IMSA race on Friday night. He was at one point, he was sitting on the podium behind his dad. And lap to go, had a spin and missed out the podium for the IMSA series on the Friday night.
Ty Delaney right now, I think he'd want to be sitting there and trying to catch his old boy and just to get one up on him. Because can you imagine the dinner table when Ty Delaney beats his old boy?
Yeah,
I can call him old now. I think he's in the top 40 club.
I think he would. I think he would get a flick behind the back of the ear. But he's a really nice, respectful young lad. So he's going well. He did win a nice AMS trophy for season 3. For season 2, and I know that he said it was bigger than any of Dad's trophies. Oh, we've got our second pit stop. This could be a trend coming through. So we've got, I think it was Joe Mahoney that's gone in. Yes, he has. So either he's going in a bit early to get some fresh air, or it's part of his strategy.
Yeah, I would say at the 40th minute, if you're going in now, you're going a two-stopper. So I'd say there's a couple of drivers in there that have gone, okay, well...
Dykey's making a pass on the outside of Bruce. Will he be able to hold it? Oh, Bruce has gone, taking the shortcut across the line. He's got himself back in front. Whoa, a cheeky little cut across.
It was a good bit of action there. I'm pretty sure he got all four wheels off the ground, and he's like, nah, mate, you got to try harder than that if you want the position. And 99 got a stop and hold. So that was on lap 11. Not too sure what happened there.
Yeah.
That's Darren Lobb. So he put it on pole position. He's having a nightmare ever since.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a sloppy one tonight. He yeah, it must be just rusty. But Matty Jones has got a new livery as well. I didn't recognise that is his car, but I hope he keeps that all season because I don't mind it.
Yeah, it is a nice looking livery. Sitting there in third, tucked in. He's watching them battle, going, all right, it only takes one slip up from either of these two drivers, and Matty Jones goes from third to first. First
here
goes
we go.
in,
There's a late pitch entry there.
out. Ooh, yeah, that was very late.
That was a nice late. I hope he didn't cross the white line there. I couldn't see it.
I think that was perfect. Oh, have a look. Is that Connor Nixon entering in behind him as well?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Connor Nixon's in the pit. Bruce Tannock is in the pit. I'm seeing boys down the bottom coming out as well.
That's what's on. That's what's on the line for these guys. They've really got to push it for pit entry. That was a few tight ones that I've seen. Bruce Tannock, he get it stopped.
That was a dive and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I did say earlier that once we see, because the pit stops will be different, Jamie Dyke was fuel saving. Jamie Dyke, I'll be interested to see, and I will be watching his lap time around, because I reckon he's going to do the outlap of his life and see if he can get the undercut.
Yeah.
Or the overcut.
The overcut, undercut,
I
uppercut.
don't know. Oh, probably not the uppercut. He'll uppercut himself if it doesn't work. Well, let's see what happens here. He's hooking in, though.
He is hooking in, and Matty Jones is sticking onto him like a glove. He's got himself at 6 seconds. Michael Whiting behind him at 0.9. Chris Miller, 0.12. So Whiting's pulled away from Miller and Ty Delaney. The only other really, really close battle that we're seeing at the moment is Joe Mahoney just come out of the PIDs up against Ed Hayden. And then you've got Coleman Nash fighting it in the back. What the hell's Coleman doing back there?
I mean, I'm not too sure exactly what happened. I didn't think he had a good start to the race. We haven't really seen much of him tonight, but he is definitely a little bit further back. He may have just come out of a pit strategy as well, so I'll dig into that, Steve, and we'll try and work that out. But definitely a little bit further back, but may just be struggling a little bit.
Yeah. There's some
Busy
there's a
pit
few
road
cars
now.
that are still struggling.
Ty Delaney's down the lane. I think Jamie Dyke has stayed out.
Get himself another lap under his belt. That's going to give him a lighter tank for the back end of the race. He's going to be trying. He's out there. What is he? It's going to be
Got an
tough
11-second
to do it as a
lead.
one-stopper. Maybe he's hoping for a safety car.
He's got an 11-second lead at the moment. I think he's going to need a little bit more than that, but I think he's just going to run it dead, and then, well, his tyres are going to be a lot cleaner at the end as well. So he's obviously saved a little bit. Remember, I said, and I've said quite a few times, that masters of fuel saving. So, and Thomas Freeman, remember I said he's one of the drivers that started a little bit further back. He's stayed out also. So's Travis Daly. Bruce Tennick will slot in there, and Joe Mahoney. So you're probably looking at the effective race lead. I would have to say at the minute is 4th place Bruce Tennick. If Jamie Dyke makes a stop, I think he's going to fall behind him. But I think if I'm getting it correct, Steve, Bruce is the first of our drivers that are pitted.
Correct. First of our guys at the front, Joe Mahoney was actually the first one, and he's got himself sitting behind Bruce Tannock, which is pretty cool. Michael Whiting's making a cut in. Oh, they're all... no, that was a... He was letting them through. That wasn't going to be that easy, was it?
We'll roll with this as well. Yeah. It is
there's 3 cars fighting it there. He must be a lapped car. But yeah, so Joe Mahoney was the first to pit, followed by Bruce Tannock. Thomas Freeman hasn't pitted yet. Travis Daly, Jamie Dyke is still out there as well. So there's a few boys that are pushing the envelope.
I think first or second.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, 1 or 2 stops. A couple of more
Was that
drivers.
a pit by Dyke? Yes, Dyke's in the pits.
Dyke's down the lane, a little bit of contact in front of him as well. Now, look, Jamie Dyke, he's going to come out in the thick of it with a couple of cars that are battling. He doesn't want to get caught up with a little bit of rubbish from people in front of him. That's not
Joe
rubbish.
Mahoney
That's racing. Mahoney and Jones sorted out. Jamie's on a roll here behind him.
Yeah,
here we go. This is the race lead.
So Joe Mahoney's actually gone in early, so he's done a pretty good undercut there, coming out in front of those. The pace difference between these two guys. So Joe's an amateur, being hunted down by extremely fast pro, and Dyke is taking advantage of getting his tyres into temp.
And look again, he's slotted in right behind a car as well, makes it easy, although I don't think he's going to have to save fuel from here. He's just under the halfway point of this race, 34 minutes to go. Tennick, Mahoney, Jones, Dyke, that's going to be the battle, I think, and it's going to be the battle that never ends, but the battle that we're watching right now with Jones and Mahoney and Dyke, if we can get an onboard on that, Dyke will be loving this site.
Oh yeah,
because
Dyke will be loving this.
They're one step away from making a mistake, and Jamie Dyke going from 4th to 2nd.
The other thing as well, you got to remember here, is you got an AM in front of Matty, and he's going to burn his tyres out if he doesn't be careful. And he's already looks like he's doing a bit of sliding there. Now Dyke needs to get past Joe Mahoney as quick as possible, so that Matty Jones doesn't tear away from him.
Yeah, Matty Jones is already taken a different line there. That was quite evident. He went wide to get the run off it, and he's already put a gap in. And you can see, and you're dead right, Steve, that he is visibly getting held up here at the moment from Mahoney. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before Jamie Dyke gets past him. And really, he needs to get past him to emphasise, or not emphasise, take the, you know...
Here we go. Here we go. He's on the inside. He's got the line. He's taken him wide, and he's made that very clean. I think that was Joe Mahoney thinking, mate, I'm just going to burn my tyres out here if I keep trying to fight Dykey off.
Yep, I was lost for words. You picked it up. That was awesome. But, well, what I was going to say is he just exercised it. Well, he wasn't going to stuff around, and he didn't. So he's passed, and now he's going to make up a little bit of ground. 1.06 seconds, in fact, between Matty Jones and Dyke.
So Bruce's early pit actually worked for him.
It did. 2 seconds now, 2.1, and he's pulling away as well.
Yep. He's got a chance to get some clean air. He got in there and he got his tyres up to temp without the pressure. Whereas, bit of a lock up there from Matty. Opening the doors up a little bit. That's given Jamie about 3 or 4 tenths. This is the fight, people. This is the fight.
Yeah, it is a fight. It's a fight for the lead. Bruce Tannock, his mirror's full. There's a massive battles going on everywhere, especially this one. Oh, look at this. Is that Joe Mahoney getting a bit of a... no, sorry. Yeah, it is.
You're right. Joe Mahoney's
Mahoney
getting a crisp in there by Chris Miller behind him,
He got a big hurry up through there. Slowed them both down.
He does, but you know what? Joe needs to worry about his own race, right? Because he's got Ty Delaney behind him, which is 2 cars behind these 2 fish. He's fighting Ty. He's not fighting these guys. So he needs to keep them, I guess, as a spacer between them, but also to think the long term as well. I can't destroy my tyres.
We just about reached the halfway point as well. We got 30 minutes and 50 seconds and change to go. The battle at the front, that's not going to change. The top 5, 6 cars are within spitting distance. What have we got? Around about 1 second between the top 6.
Yeah. Right up to 7th place. It's a bit of a concertina effect going all the way through.
Tannock, Jones, Dyke, Mahoney, Miller, Whiting, Delaney, Kirby, Stewart and Nixon. That's your top 10. Sagasar just a little bit outside of that. 666 and Miller. He's got a sandwich of pro, or not pro drivers, but experienced drivers behind, on either sides of him.
Yeah.
And I tell you, just based on this round 1 with the sportsmanship and the cleanliness of the racing, I know it's a little bit dicey for the first couple of corners. But I tell you, we're in for a treat the rest of the seasons. What have we got? 8 more rounds of this to go.
Yeah, look, it's mate. This is the beginning of fingernail biting racing for a season, which is going to be epic all the way through. Once the rest of these boys come back with the WKMP boys as well, this battle is going to be about a 10-car battle for top spot.
Jamie Dyke's really starting to put the pressure on Matty Jones now. Matty Jones is starting, I've noticed, a lock-up, and I think he got a little bit of wheel spin out of that last sector of corner. Jamie Dyke makes a little bit of a mistake there, but I tell you, these guys are pushing. They're not mucking around there. They're going for it.
They're going for it. It looks like it's Matty Jones's right rear that keeps locking up on him.
Yeah, we'll monitor that. Looks like there's a little bit of panel damage on the side of that car as well. Maybe a little bit of a touch on the wall, or a little bit of a contact between Dykey when they were close up, but he seems to be withholding the pressure. Jamie Dyke, a little bit sideways out of there. He's probably just cooling the tyres, and he'll be in there. He's still in the draft. About, what do you got, 1.5? 1.5 seconds just to be in the draft.
Yeah, he's up between 3 and 5 tenths. But Bruce has pulled away even more. Bruce is down to 3 seconds now.
Yeah, 2.9 seconds, just about to click over 3. He's welcoming this. Different lines taken. Oh, I don't know whether that was a mistake from Jones or different lines. I have noticed it, though. give him the benefit of the doubt. I have noticed that the last couple of laps rather. Matty Jones is getting a little bit wide through there. It's a bit
There's
of smoke
slightly
up
different
ahead.
lines,
Was that a mistake from Tanek?
I'm not sure. I did see a puff of smoke come up, but that could have been a back marker.
He has dropped a little bit of time.
Again.
Nah.
That rear end of... Yeah, it's a slightly different line. So he's taking a shallow curb through there to hold Jamie off, so Jamie can't dive in on him. Jamie's sitting there and he's fishing to see where the gap's going to be.
I love the pun there too, Steve. How good's that? It's probably his birthday. That's why he's driving so good. But Jamie, we've already pumped him up. He's gonna take the dive. He's got 0.3 of a second to make up, but he's got plenty of time to do it. Well, we're well into the second half of this race, and Tanek's still withholding that 3-second lead, and he is still gaining. And Matty Jones has stepped away, sort of a little bit.
Yeah, Matty. Well, Bruce has taken it well and truly into the 3-second mark now. So it's going to be... Oh, he's got a bit of a draft from a back marker now, so that's going to help him a little bit. We're looking at... Nash is just... Well, something's going on with Blake Delaney. He's pitted.
Oh, here we go. Jamie Dyke down the inside. He thought, I've followed you enough. Shows the nose. He just doesn't pull it off, though. He's lost a little bit of time and lost a little bit of... pace momentum on that. That's the difference in lines. That Matty Jones really... Oh, no. I thought he was pulling away, but no. Oh, there we go. Dykey's through.
He's found the gap and he's gone for it, and he's taken advantage of that blue flag nicely.
Yeah, 100%. He's checked them up all behind as well. Have a look at this. Lap traffic and a fiery battle.
Oh, yeah. There's Michael Whiting.
He's caught up, but he gets through.
Whew.
Oh, well, there you go. Jamie Dyke. Anyway. Jamie Dyke got through for second, dramatically.
Yeah, that could have gone anyway, couldn't it? That was that little lock-up that Matty did nearly went sideways with the blue flag car coming through as well.
I think Jamie thought, well, in for the penny, in for the pound, I'm going to go for it, get you all in one hit. You know, when you're driving on the highway doing 110 and there's a B double doing 100, but there's two in front of them. You wait till it's straight, you put the foot down, get them all. And that's what Jamie just did then. Michael Whiting wants to go up there as well. He looks to have a dive. Nah, not close enough yet.
Looking at the rest of the grid, there's the gaps are all pretty much spaced themselves out. There's a few really tight fights. Anthony Visma down in 20th is fighting with Ed Hayden. So we're going to have a back marker fight back across there. And he's being followed by Blake Delaney, who's come out of the pits, and he's going to be hunting them down to get through. So the boys have all pitted. It was just before the halfway mark. So this is going to be a bit of a tight one here, Pete. It's going to be stretch it and save, compromise the pace, or go for the second pit stop.
I think a couple of the drivers out here, especially the leaders, or a handful of the leaders anyway, or the top handful of the top 10 have gone with the 2020. I think that I've sort of looked at, unless the tyres are good for a 2040 run to the end. But if they're going to do a 40-20 run to the end, Michael Whiting, he's probably going to be the winner out of the guys doing the ladder. As we see a lap car, I think, getting in the way, but he pulls off. He's going to get us. Who was that? That's John Van Ree. Oh, that could have been worse as well, but he pulls back in.
He did well to get out of the way then.
Oh, 100%. He couldn't pull it up. Run wide, copper slow down, everyone wins. No one died. That's that's the main thing.
So Jarmani is called in lap 22, turn 8. No contact, no further action. It was reviewed live as it was happening. So the RCs are on top of everything. They've got an apprentice in there at the moment as well, who's studying up on becoming an RC tonight. So there's 3 of them in there.
Yeah, Matty Jones back in 17th position now. I didn't catch him going down the lane.
Ooh,
Yes,
Jones
so
in
we
the
catch him
pits.
coming out. So he's
Coming
going at
out.
2020. Maybe, who was it? Was it Delaney pitting? Or was
Just
it, no,
earlier.
sorry, Whiting pitting that triggered it? Maybe. Oh, cold tires. But that's
Ooh.
that. No, actually, I lied. That's that line. That's that line.
Yeah, there's a
I'll give him
very high
that.
bank
That's
curve
his
there.
line.
Yeah. He tries to get the car straighter as it comes through here.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yep.
discredit him. 100%.
No, no.
That's his
Uh,
line.
Jamie's hunting down Bruce. He's got it down to a 3. Is that a 2.6? 2.9. So he's floating around a 2.6, 2.9. He's got it back under 3. He's going to be hunting down Bruce. Now, Bruce did that couple of lap earlier pit stop, so it won't be too long till Bruce will have to go in as well.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a two-stopper, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's going to be a two-stopper. 2.6 seconds, that's not enough to get out, or to get in, get out, and see how we go. Remember, Jamie Dyke's probably got about 5 laps on him if we're talking two-stoppers now, Steve, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Jamie Dyke, I don't think he's been held up too much apart from, you know, a little bit of lap traffic there. So I think the Bruce Tannick, Jamie Dyke battle, that's going to be one that's going to take a rain check until probably about 5 to go, I think, when they get out of the pits. And lap traffic, without a doubt, with 10 minutes to go, is going to be well and truly in play. Remember, we haven't seen a safety car either.
No, we haven't yet, which is
Dare
going
I
to be.
say it.
There is a yellow flag out there at the moment somewhere in sector 3, but still no safety car, and the boys are plugging away like crazy. Jamie is absolutely smashing this car, going through and trying to break away as we speak. So he's got himself 3.5 seconds on Whiting.
We spoke earlier of knowing where the
Someone
race
has come off the track and asked for a tow, I think.
Oof. If he's in a dangerous position, looks like we're slowing. There's a car on.
Oh, Harry Dodds has
Dodds.
destroyed that car. Whoa, what's he done? So he's come around his corner. Oh, it looks like he's overturned it. Oh, and the worst part of the track, the part of the track where the wall is the closest he's picked to go off. Everywhere else, there's runoffs left, right, and centre. Poor bugger. Dyke has just gone in the pits. Dyke has gone in the pits during the safety car call.
I think what we're going to see here is once we're on the safety car, now that everyone's that needs to pit's going to pit now, and we're going to see a pretty much a 20-minute sprint race to the end. 20 minutes, I don't think is going to be much difference in their tyres. 13.5 seconds for Jamie Dyke down pit road, but these guys will get in and out serviced, and
Here we go.
so still no call yet. I think
Still no call. No, still no call. Dyke's gone in. He's done his pit. Still no call.
the commentators called it, and there's no yellow. There's still green. We know nothing up here. Well, me personally.
Call a very loose name of you, me, a commentator.
Oh, very loose. Very loose.
I'm just a monkey with a peanut sitting here with a microphone.
Yep, that's right.
So there was an incident earlier on in the track with looks like it was Joe Marnie is called something in up earlier against Michael White. It looks like he's saying it's a hit and run, but RC's looking at it as we speak. Joe's back there on the back of Miller. Oh, Matty Stewart, I should say. And Miller's on the back of Whiting. The boys have really spread the times out now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have Miller ducks
Miller's
in.
gone on the pits.
6.3
And
seconds lead, Tannick to Whiting.
yep, he's been followed into the pits as well.
Ty's in, Kirby's in.
Yep. Sagas is in. Here we go. See who else is going to pop in. They're all
I did get one thing
starting to
right.
come
It is
out.
a
Ooh,
busy pit road.
Miller's got himself out quicker than those boys, hasn't he?
He fired into the lane. I did take note of that.
Yeah.
The fast entry.
So Bruce has got this race in a really healthy position right now. He's sitting at 6.2 seconds on Michael Whiting. He's obviously got a pit again. Dyke is sitting back in 11th position as we speak. So he's 6th position, sorry, as we speak, and trying to get himself back on to that position. So in front of him, who has to pit still? Bruce has got a pit for his second. Michael, Maddie, Connor, all of them have to pit for their second.
I think the first to pit would probably be Jamie.
Yeah. And then Matty Jones looks like he's followed him in too.
So let's have a look when the top 5 pit. That's probably what we're going to be looking at.
Harry Dodds has just clicked on his
Yeah, right. Yeah, there we go. So we're there. We'll correct there. Thanks to our awesome producer. The numbers beside the name there. That's exactly how many times they've gone down pit road. So many things I've got wrong. I've got that one right. Top 5 still yet to pit. Our effective race leader, Jamie Dyke. And here's our pit stops now. Michael Whiting.
Yep.
And Co come in. So let's have a look. When does our leader come in, Steve? When does our leader come in the lane? Everyone else has gone, all right, stuff you, Bruce. We're going in.
Well, Bruce has been out on his own, yeah. So he's been fuel saving like buggery, but he was the first one in. He went in like 2 laps earlier than Dykey and the rest of them. So Dykey was the last in the first round of pits, and then he triggered in the second round. So Bruce has got to go soon. He's got to go soon. Dyke's got himself back up, and he's got 28 seconds. How long's a pit lane? Generally, pit stops around 22 to 25 seconds, so it looks about right. Jamie needs to put the fettle down. That's for so what you're seeing is 15 to 20 seconds. That's a pit stop itself, but it's only including the drive-through as well. So
that's
if it's not
service time, yeah. So
the
lane time's going to be a lot more. Tannock's in. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. Let's watch where Bruce comes out, because this is going to be pretty close, based on around about a 13 to 15 second service time when he's stopped. This will start now. Here we go. And then we'll watch where Jamie Dyke comes out. Jamie Dyke has pitted already. I think this is going to be really close. I think Jamie Dyke's going to get this.
Here we go.
The later stop, if he's going to have any dividends, will be at the end of the race.
Bruce is just coming out, just leaving now. So Dyke is going to get about 3 or 4 seconds on him. Matty as well has gone past him too. And Chris Miller. So that's cost him staying out that long.
It looks to be at the minute the top 10 has shaken up a little bit. Jamie Dyke, Matty Jones, Chris Miller, Tannock and Delaney, that's your 5. And a little bit further down, we don't discount these drivers, Whiting, Stewart, Mahoney, Kirby and Connor Nixon, that's your 10 as we speak. So a few names there. And Delaney, Freeman, they're just outside the top 10 as well. So 14 minutes to go. Time's running out. Laps are running out. 2.6 seconds of lead. Jamie Dyke. He looks to be got the race in good stead, and let's hope this shows out. But remember, Tannock's going to have brilliant tyres. The last 5 laps. Spit it out.
100%. And you know what? I'm just looking at this timing chart, and there's some names that are way down. Darren Lobb, Thomas Freeman, Blake Delaney. They've had a hell of a night. Sagassa, these boys have had a tough night. It hasn't been an easy night for these boys, and they're really fast, really good quality pro drivers. Harry Dodds has clicked onto the YouTube and heard your dulcet tones, mate, and he's saying, welcome back. Good to hear you out there, Pete.
I'll tell you, thanks for the kind words. Oh, dulcet is probably the word that I've liked the most.
I can't call you aggro from the Muppet Show.
Well, you probably could. You just did indirectly, so... Oh, no, it's good to be back. A bit rusty, but I tell you, if the racing continues like this, it's pretty good. We got 991 a cow on screen at the moment. He's positioned him Sells behind two formidable drivers, so
Yeah.
he's down there in 14th. Let's see what he can do, but 2.8 seconds, 2.9 seconds now the lead for Jamie Dyke. He's stepping away, but see these wide lines.
Yeah.
I tell you, I apologise. I'll do it now. I apologise to all the drivers because I think I'm going to call it a mistake every time because it does. It's a bit different than what we've seen.
Yeah, they're trying to keep momentum around these curves. They're like a big, deep S. But I'm just looking at it. So top three for the pros we're looking at the moment is Jamie Dyke with the 2.5 head against Matty Jones. At this point, it's still Chris Miller by 4.2, followed by Bruce Tannock, which is 5 behind him. So Miller's got himself a good gap after that pit stop. It's going to be down to tyre conditions and whether Miller's going to be able to hold Bruce off for Matty Jones and Jamie to fight it out for the final positions on the podium. But in the AMs, we have got Ty Delaney with his first crack for season round 1, sitting in first place for the AMs, gridded in, that just moved, 7th, and he's now in 6th place, followed by Joe Mahoney 2 steps back in 2nd place, and the third AMs driver is all the way down in 14th, which is Andrew Cowan, and he's got his own little battle going on with Anthony Visma.
It's good to have a couple of AM drivers in the top 10 as well. You can see, like you pointed out, that you got them 2 AM drivers and then a little bit of a gap to the others. So they're a standout in the class already in round 1.
Well, I'll give you a hot tip. There's already conversations about these 2 drivers, Joey and Ty, because at round 3, based on positions and everything like that, we'll see whether they remain as AMs. We've sort of that's when we sort of make the choice whether these boys, based on history and how they've been going in the past, whether we move them up or not. So there's a good chance they might move up.
Him fighting with the big boys, I tell you, I don't think that'll turn them away. They probably race with all the pros in practice sessions anyway, so they probably know their competitors. Good challenge for them though. I think my saying is you got to look beep to look good. You just fill that gap there, but that's my saying. So you're only going to get quicker if you race against quicker people, but that's exactly what we'll see.
Yeah,
it's good to see him mix the class.
You got to race against the fastest. There's no point going in there. Oh, is that Matty Jones?
That
was. He's lost his rear end there. What did he do under brakes? Looks like a compression lockup, or his right rear locked up again. That's it is the right rear again. The right rear's let him down. So that's the tyre he's been locking up all night, and that's cost him dearly at that corner. Oh, poor bugger.
Yeah, I remember you did call that probably quite a few laps ago, Steve, that you did notice in his, the lock-up he had previously. It was that same tyre. I wonder if he flat spot it and it just took that amount of laps just to hit that sweet spot or not so sweet spot. But, well, even the best or some of the best can make mistakes, and he's down there in 6th position now, 0.5 of a second.
Yeah,
the current
you'll have to excuse the flickering viewers, which is probably a little bit of internet issue at this point, but that was some spectacular racing. I've just looked up at the timing tower, and Bruce Tannock has made himself all the way back on the Chris Miller. He was like about, what did we say, about 3 seconds off him when he came out of the pit, so he's made his way all the way back onto Miller, and Miller is the gap between himself and Jamie Dyke, so Chris needs to take one here for the team, so Jamie can get the podium position home.
Yeah, well, I think while they're racing like this, I think you're going to see them just push on and just keep going. What have we got? 9 minutes to go. 2.2 seconds the gap for Jamie Dyke to Miller, 0.9 in between. So Bruce Tannock is in a shot. He's already got a podium. He's already got a podium.
I think Jamie just had a moment then because his timing's dropped right down to
0.4 of a second.
Yeah.
Oh, just runs a little bit wide.
Oh.
tyres are getting them too. It'd be interesting to see when Jamie and Matty Jones pit. I'm presuming or assuming now. I know we shouldn't do it, but I reckon they pit on the last at the same lap. They may be feeling the same. There we go. So tyres, I think, is a thing right now for these boys. And Jamie Dyak and Matty Jones, probably two of the quicker drivers out here tonight with almost similar mistakes. A bit of a lock up and run wide. Now Jamie Dyk's got pressure all over the back of him by Miller.
Yeah, and you know what? As a team, Miller needs to not put too much pressure on because they need a 1-2 finish and keep Bruce back. So if I was doing team orders right now, if I was the team owner of this team right now, I would say, right, you guys stay 1-2, do not fight, focus on tyre degradation, keep the tyres fresh, and keep Bruce behind you.
And these guys are race drivers. You think they're going to listen? They're going to go, I want to win. I want to win. That's what I want to do. You know, we're team drivers. We drive for the same team. Not now, buddy. We got 7 minutes to go. I'm going for it, mate.
This is where I'm going to go. No, Michael. No, Michael. No.
Yeah. But Bruce, he'll watch. He's in the draft now. He's in the draft, and he's going to have a good fight. Watch these guys battle at the end because I don't think Bruce has finished. 0.7 of a second gap now from him and Chris. Good fight back too from Bruce. Just his strategy was a little bit off from these top two guys, and he's fighting back.
Well, we say that. It does seem that way, but it seems that he's got the better of the tyres.
Well, we say strategy. Well, I say strategy a little bit off. Well, yeah. Let's see.
The and as you said, the fight's not over. This is just beginning. We've got 5 minutes of some crazy racing. 1.34 seconds a lap. So we're looking at about 4 laps, 3.5 laps.
Takes 1 lapse of concentration. These guys are really fighting now, and they're fighting a tough car. Bruce Tannick now.
Yes.
His rears are going on him now. A little bit of oversteer for him now.
And Michael,
let's have a look.
1.9 behind him at the moment.
And so a little bit of a mistake from the two in front, Steve, because I think Bruce is, even though he's just made that little bit of a mistake, he is getting up on the back of these guys. So watch this train of cars to narrow, and the gaps to narrow also.
Oh, yeah, he's got himself down to 0.8. He's got himself down to 0.8, and this is going to slow these front three down, and that'll bring Whiting into the action as well. Give us another lap, and Whiting will be on the back of Tanner.
How long with that 0.4, 0.5 second of a lead last? Jamie Dyak, he's been pretty inspirational with the way he's driven tonight's race. He didn't really get the best of starts, but he's battled on. A few mistakes, run wide. He did, remember, have a 7-second lead. That's come down, but he's still maintaining 0.5. Miller's on his tail. He can't give up and let up either. So if the tyres are gone for these two, well, he's just going to have to deal with it because Tannick's there, and he's there and thereabouts 0.8 of a second. The gap, Miller's off.
Lost rear end. Oh, this is the game opened right up now. Tannock, he's got 1.1, 1.2 off the back of Jamie Dyak. Dykey is going to have to fish this tail all the way to the end.
It's going to be a battle now. Have a look at the replay. Just lost it, didn't he?
Yep.
Just
carried a bit too much in, a little bit too early on the throttle. Here's Dykey. We did say a few minutes ago. Oh, that was the replay.
Yeah, it was the replay. It was the replay. He was out of the throttle. He tried to counteract the oversteer, and just it was already gone. Tough cars to drive, the supercars. Tough race for Miller. Still just outside top 5 though. But we continue. Matty Jones, he's continuing his hunt. Ty Delaney, remember, these guys aren't battling for class, but they are overall. Mistake by Ty. And Jones gets
he's
through.
Under the roof, and he comes out. I was about to say just before, Matty Jones is fighting his way back, and he is fighting his way back, but Ty's not giving up too early. No, he's not going to make it doing that around the corner. Bad luck, Ty. Whiting, Bruce is still What's the gap there on
Bit of a
Bruce?
gap
Is it
now.
1 second? I can't
Bit of a
see.
gap now, yeah, 1.016 seconds is the gap between the lead. Then we go Tenek and Whiting. Miller and Delaney have just traded places as well. Matty Stewart's in for the hunt. Mahoney, Nixon, Kirby rounds out your top 10. Freeman just outside. But Jamie Dyke, look who's there, who's arrived at the party within 1 second, 0.9 of a second the gap with 3 minutes to go here. This is shaping up to be a great race. Remember, Tanek has about 3 laps the better, the good of tyres than Jamie. Let's see what their fuel's like, see what their lap times are going to be like. These two here, they're going to fight to the death. 0.9 of a second, just outside.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Every corner, every braking point now is going to be crucial. With less than a second to go, this should be white flag. I can't see if Barney is out there waving the flag. 2 to go, so we've got 1 more to go after this. And the next one will be the white flag, so it's going to be a tough fight all the way to the end. Just a reminder, Jamie actually clinched 5th in the championship last season and only had about half the season participating in. So he hasn't turned into a slouch. He's just working really, really hard.
I tell you, he's just showing he's put his foot down, what he can do. He looks to be able to take this this first round 1 out. It's been good racing throughout from the whole team. The Fishy boys and the field actually. Jamie Doug Whiting looks to be a fishy 1 and 3 if he can hold off though. Don't write off Tanek and don't write off a mistake from any of these boys. But he's got it down to 0.6 of a second now. A little bit of a mistake there I've seen by Jamie. Just a little bit late on those brakes. Not too sure now. Let's have a look. The tyres I think is going to be the thing. Can they hold on? Tanek, oof. He's still hovering around that 0.6, 0.8 second. Have a look at his view.
This should be the flag coming around this corner now, around to the main stop finish, and 1 lap to go.
Big dive, pulls it back under a second.
Yep.
Jamie Dyke, he'll be looking at this view as well. He'll be like, stuff you behind me. This is the view I need for another 1 minute and 20 seconds.
And you know what? Winning this category now in this series is not just an SRW win. White flag is out. This is a win against some really, really, really fast guys. So the person who takes out this championship this season has got a really big hat to hang on their wall as beating some of the fastest guys around.
Oh, you just have a look at the names that we mentioned throughout this race. And they're some of the quickest around Australia in sim racing. Jamie Dyke looks to be able to hold on 0.8 of a second. He's actually pulled away in the first sector of the final race. It was good to see Barney out there doing his job for a change. He was out there waving. Tanek still not giving up. Yep, Michael Whiting, Chris Miller, Matty Jones. That'll be your 5, I think.
Yep. They've actually gapped Whiting there. There's another one I've just seen name pop up. Matty Stewart, former champion. And he's sitting in 7th place behind Ty. So in the AMs, it looks like it's going to be Ty Delaney, followed by Joe Marney, and in 3rd by Andrew Cowan. But for the pros, here we come in the final lap and the final few corners.
Jamie Dyke, 0.5 of a second still he's going to maintain as we start to get into this third sector.
Last few corners are nice and clean.
And have a go at that. How good was it? And no safety cars, few yellow flag sectors. But we got through. All
Ladies and gentlemen,
running,
the V8 Sim Rigs V8 Supercars ProAm Series Round 1 winner is Jamie Maxwell Dyke from the Fishy Motorsports team, followed by Bruce Tannock from Mag and Turbo, and the 3rd place by Michael Whiting, the owner of the Fishy Motorsports team. In our AMs, we have Ty Delaney from Fishy Motorsports, followed by Joe Mahoney from JTT, racing on Oz. And in 3rd place for the AMs is our ever reliable Andrew Cowan from, my name's just gone, PSR. It just went blank. Well done, and Tyson will be happy about that because Andrew Cowan is defending champion of the Pro-Ams AMS.
Yeah, well, a couple of the drivers that have done well in their class tonight have showed what they that last season wasn't a fluke. So it's good to see their talent coming back. But how good was Jamie's fight to the end? He made a call, didn't need to offset his strategy, and well, although Bruce would be feeling, oh, another couple of laps I may have had, yeah, it was
Jamie started in 6th, came in 1st. Bruce 4th to 2nd, and Michael Whiting 9th to 3rd. So that's a great jump. Big mover and shaker in the race tonight was Connor Nixon, who actually ended up finishing 5th, well, from 17th all the way up. So done really well. So a couple of those boys have had an epic race.
Yeah, big movers and shakers in there, and I tell you, someone that was on the other foot of it, Steve, was Darren Lobb, down 16 positions. He put it on pole. Everything was showing good signs. He probably was close favourite to taking it out, and I'm not too sure exactly what happened exactly with Lobb, but down 16 positions, you'd have to fall for him and his team.
Yeah, I think he had a drive through or two tonight. So here are the boys pulling up to the tradition that we have at SRW. All the boys that are in the podium will pull up on the start-finish line, and the rest of the grid will make their way into the pits.
And let's have a look. This is what happened to Darren Lobb. Oh, straight down the inside. Little bit of a move, bit of contact. Straightens him up. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Mr. Dyke is doing
unfortunate.
a burnout on the main straight at the moment. Here comes Mr. Whiting as well, and Mr. Tannock, who is actually the gentleman in the back there that you can see doing his burnouts. Mr. Tannock is actually a Drift New Zealand champion, so he's a real world drift champion. So a bit of a legend in NZ, and I believe he's a part owner of Mag and Turbo as well, which is his main sponsor.
Yeah, how
Look at
good
these
that.
boys go. Well, we'll start off, I guess, with dragging in the AMs once they get themselves into the podium room and have a bit of a chat to the boys, and then get stuck into 1, 2, and 3 for the pros. Pete, how do you feel, mate? How was it?
Yeah, it was a good opening round for the season, that's for sure. It was a tricky track. It had a high element of difficulty, and these guys, well, it took a marathon effort to get through, and the strategies. I thought it may have been a little bit of a fuel game at the end, but the tyre, I think it mattered the most, as we've seen some drivers, even the guys up the pointy end of the totem, throughout the final stages of their stint. Well, it was evident that the rears were going, and they still held on, especially, I think, Jamie, his strategy was pretty good, but still off kilter from Tannock, and they pulled it off as well. And a couple of the other guys that were probably drift kings by the last couple of laps that we probably didn't get much footage of. But the tyre maintenance, I think the drivers need to take their hat off, because I think if you got it wrong, they just stepped away without notice.
Well, you saw how crucial the pit strategy was. I really thought Bruce had the right one in the beginning, but I mean, he had the fresher tyres, but he just had too much contention to get past in the end. But you can see how on edge the tyres were with Matty Jones. It's not often you see Matty lose his car like that, and you can see how on edge those tyres were, which makes it even more impressive of Dykey's drive to the finish. So it was pretty epic. But what I was asking you was, how did it feel commentating again?
It's rough. I feel I'll have to watch it back. I know people say that's weird. You got to watch it back. You got to be your own critic. Yeah, rough. I think bit rusty, but nah, you definitely talking and watching. 100%, I had fun. How can you not have fun when you're
That's what SRW is about, mate. Yeah, that's all we're here for. We're having fun. Whether we do a few mumble jumbled of words and make a few mistakes here and there, it is what it is. We're out here to have some fun and entertain these people out here. And also, our people on YouTube, thanks for coming out and enjoying us tonight. And having a bit of a chinwag. We've got a few people to interview. We'll go through Jamie, Bruce, Michael Whiting doesn't seem like he's coming into the room, so we'll do these two boys. We'll start off with Bruce, but don't leave us just yet because we've got a few announcements we're going to do, a few new sponsors and stuff like that. So
None of it.
love
The
a bit of
banking.
chat. Mr. Tannock, how are you, mate?
Feeling all right, yeah.
Welcome back, mate. It's been a couple of seasons off for you.
Yeah, Sunday nights, I've normally been tied up doing a few other things, and this year I thought, no, it was, well, cheap, you know. Said it was free, sweet, straight in there.
Bloody Kiwis.
Yeah, I was going to say it.
Mate, you picked a good season to come back because all past champions and quality drivers like yourself and Lobby are here. This is probably the highest ranking series we've had as SRW, and I think it's going to be the one which is going to be the pinnacle event for the year.
Well, if P1, 2, and 3 keep getting pit lane starts, I'll take that all day, yeah. Putting on pole and fourth. But no, you're right. The standard is very high. Like even in practice, someone who was in 10th, you're running around them. You're not running all over them. You're still struggling to, and me and Jamie were just talking that I had a little bit of pace in some sections. He had pace in others, and it was just follow the leader almost because you're both kind of maxed out. There's not much left in it.
Yeah, your strategy going a bit early, was that tyre preservation or what was it? What was the thinking?
Well, I just figured we think we'd worked out we needed to drop 42 litres each stop, and I figured if I stopped early, then I'd have maybe one faster lap to try and get out in front. So it didn't work, but I've just got new pedals, so I don't have a clutch at the moment, so I can't save any fuel. So I'm just max fuel usage. So, and I'm too busy to work out on the fly the fuel. So on the second stop, I dropped about 9 litres too much, but that's all right. I mean, live and learn. But it was good. Like I was like I said, 3 guys at the start make a boo-boo, and then I think Maddie and Chris both made mistakes to give me spots back. So in reality, I'm 4th on pace or on strategy mainly. Just need to work on that.
Look, mate, it's all part of racing. You've got to be in that position to take advantage of it, and you did.
Yeah, absolutely. No, shout out to Darren. Obviously, pit lane start gave me a spot, but the set he built for me and David was just awesome. Like the thing felt like it was on rails.
And Bruce, I've just cut in. It's Pete here, mate. You just mentioned a couple of drivers in front of you. Jones, one of them that made a mistake earlier on. Was that? Oh, sorry. In the later stages of the stint, was that in your mind, mate? Did you think that at the later stages catching Jamie, because I reckon you were pushing 10/10s. Was that in your mind that maybe the tyres could go off just like the guys in front of you?
Well, I think Maddie was under pressure from Chris because Chris was coming on strong, and then he was trying to maybe throw it and try and catch Jamie, and then he just outbraked himself. But man, he outbraked himself real deep, so he was gone. And then Chris caught up, closed the gap on Jamie a little, and then I figured the two of them being teammates weren't going to fight too hard, so they might slow each other up. So I was pushing, as you said, 10/10ths, and then Chris just made a really unfortunate. I saw it start to go, and I thought he might catch it, but he just seemed to gas it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll take that one too."
Yeah, it was good to watch. I think tyres were a big part, and well, your strategy was pretty good. But what do you end up with, mate? P2, you got to be happy with that to open up a what's going to be a stellar season.
Oh, 100%. If I could replicate that in another week, I'll be stoked.
Nah, that's awesome.
Well, mate, you've got a couple of new fast boys that are coming back as well. We've got the WKMP boys still that are going to make a reappearance as of next week. So it's going to be another couple of fast heads out there. So I'm expecting an epic battle out there. It's a shame that that Lobby had a bit of a rough night tonight because he was on some good pace early. But I'm going to kick you out. Who do you got to thank for supporting you guys and all the help they can put behind you?
Oh, just me and Nashi, obviously, for Megan Turbo Motorsports. Just basically, that's just my business, and we're just good mates from Real Motorsport years ago. And Lobby he basically coaches me and Dave along and builds some awesome sets. And I've just got hold of one of these new SuperCube active pedals, so I'm slowly getting weakness. My weakness has always been braking, so bought the expensive pedal, and now hopefully it'll pay some dividends.
Oh, bring it on! Love the sound of that. All right, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season. Good to see you back.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate. Let's drag Mr. Whiting in as the third place position.
Hello,
Mr. Whiting. How are you, buddy?
Anyway,
Not too bad, mate. I'm not in with Shibby tonight. I'm in with the very famous, legendary Mr. Peter Gretton.
yeah. Hey, Pete.
Hey, Mike, how you going, mate?
Good,
P3,
mate.
you must be happy with that. P1 and 3 for the team as the team boss. I'll put your hat on first. You must be happy with that opening round, P1 and 3.
Yeah, mate. Didn't have a lot of time for practice for here, unfortunately. Obviously, the big race on today, so sat down and watched that and went, oh, that's right, we've got SRW tonight. We better do a couple of laps. But no, it was a good result. We were tossing up between sort of 3 or 4 setups. So the one I think a couple of us ran different setups, actually. So, I mean, it certainly worked.
How'd
Michael,
the car
question
feel,
for
mate?
you.
Sorry, Steve. How'd the car feel and how'd your strategy play out?
Was twitchy. Was very twitchy, but it turned in well. So just a case of managing the throttle. I think we got a little bit lucky with Blake and who's Darren
Bobby?
having pit lane starts. Those boys were flying. It's just a bit unlucky for those guys. They got impeded during qualifying. So no, it was a good race. Dykey's back on form again, so it's good to see.
Yeah. Question. Knowing how last season panned out with the WKMP boys, and there's a few really strong teams. It's probably the all past champions of racing at the moment in this series. Is there going to be a bit more team strategy? Like tonight, we saw Miller following Jamie, and he could have been a perfect block to get Tannic out of the way. Unfortunately, he did spin it at one point. But is that sort of thing that's going to come into racing with you guys?
Yeah, look, obviously we want to make up as many positions as we can and get as many points as we can. Obviously, if one particular driver's a fair way in front of the other one, championship-wise, then we'll sort of try and aim to get him up as far as we can. Obviously, everyone wants to win races and get as far up the field as they possibly can.
Yep.
Chris was pretty unlucky tonight. He drove really well. He was pressuring me the whole time. He's a very gentlemanly driver. It doesn't like sort of throwing up the inside of teammates. So, but mate, he had mega pace. He probably deserved P2 or P1 to be fair. He just got a bit unlucky with the spin.
Yeah, he was in great form tonight. Coleman, what's going on there?
Mate, he's had a break for probably a few weeks. It was his birthday yesterday as well, so he's probably had a big one.
I was going to say hangover. I really was going to say hangover.
Possibly, yeah.
Good old birthday card.
He's had a bit of a break and he should just get back in the swing of things. So, a bit of a way to start off with SRW.
Excellent, mate. All right, mate. We'll let you go. If you want to shout out to who loves you and supports you out there, please go for it.
Obviously, family, and obviously the boys at Fishy can't do it without these guys. They all sort of get around and support each other and pick shit out of each other's driving and, where we can improve and all that sort of gear. Obviously to the sponsors, West End Motor Group, Infinity Designs, DC Shades, Battery Warehouse as well. Without those guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. So big shout out to all those guys.
Congratulations, mate, and hope you have an epic season.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
All righty. Now we've got Mr. Jamie Maxwell Dyke. Welcome to the top step, mate. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm back.
Back, baby.
Great way to open the season, mate. Great way to open the season, Jamie.
Yes.
Do you recognise that voice, Jamie?
Yeah, Mr. Peter.
The famous Mr. Peter Gretton?
Yep.
He's been talking me up all day. Let's talk about the race, mate. You won it. Good way to good way to finish to start a good season. You're going to keep it up for next season? Next round, sorry.
Yeah. I'm all in this season. I'm not sure about the last round, depending on work, but yeah, I'm head down and going to go for glory this one. Get me another one.
Well, I was telling the rest of the lads earlier, all past champions are in this series. So this is the one to win, Jamie.
Yes,
the All-Stars, SRW All-Stars.
This is the one to prove to everyone else who's going to be the best out there. And it's not just another SRW championship. It's an epic one too.
Yes, and it's not going to help Blake and Scott's clause missing round one. That's their job round gone.
Oh, there you go.
That's a gain for you, Jamie.
That's it.
No, you got a great team behind you. I think we spoke to Michael about that before, but definitely two fishy boys in the top two. What about the young fella? Can you imagine being around the dinner table tomorrow night? Ty, he outplayed his old boy.
Yeah, out qualified everyone bar me. He's getting insanely quick and, as Mike put it, a little scary.
Yeah, well, there is talk. He's being watched. He's being watched. You were privy to that conversation today. He's being watched, so he's look. I reckon if he did get promoted, it'd do him a world of good because then he's really fighting for that top spot with the rest of the boys, with you guys, because he's got it in him. You can see that he's gone up next level just over the break.
Yeah, definitely. There was a few amateurs that outperformed a lot of pros tonight, and
Yep.
wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
100%. So, you got the full season mapped out. You back in training, or is work still too busy for you?
No, I'm doing some practice here and there, but work is still pretty hectic. I've dropped a few hours. I'm not doing 80 hours anymore. I'm back down to about 60.
Back down to 60. Just a
Mate,
double week.
It makes the world of difference dropping 20 hours. But
I'm sure it would.
I had a good siesta, a good break. I didn't really touch the sim since the last season was over, and I feel really good about this season.
Good, mate. Good. It looks like you sound pretty fresh and on your tippy toes, but the driving was pretty cool. Tires at the end of that stint, was that what was your main concern?
No, I just pushed a bit too hard. Did you see my mistake?
Yeah, we did. We caught it on camera.
Oh no. Yeah, I knew Tanik would have had a tire advantage over me, and he was probably between him and Matty Jones, they had really quick pace. So I knew if Tanik got around Funky, which I feel really bad for Funky.
Yeah, he's having a good race.
Yeah, I knew once he got clear air, he was going to start gaining as he did, and yeah, I was pushing a bit too hard, and that was it. Had a little mistake, and Funky let me pick up where I left off and let me stay in the lead and gather my thoughts and kept going.
Well, you and Matty were pretty close on pace as well, and Matty had the right rear locking up on a few occasions, and then he dove into that final corner a bit too harsh. What was his pace comparative to yours?
Yeah, both of them were almost identical pace. I think all of us were pretty dominant in different sectors, so it actually made it really hard to pass.
Pete did notice that there was a couple of different lines out there, eh, Pete?
Yeah, I kept calling mistakes. I think I'm not too sure. It was a big hairpin anyway. It was like a carousel when Matty Jones especially. I think he followed him for a little bit. Or raced around him. He was taking a really wide line there to get the run. Did you notice that? And did you have any benefit? Because I noticed you took that line. I'm pretty sure you'd gather which corner I'm talking about.
Yeah, in probably the first half of the race, he was going real. So he was cutting inside, going deep, and kind of like double apexing it.
Yeah.
Which saved
That's
the
the camber
tires.
corner, yeah.
Yeah, it saved the rear tires, but it actually cost a few tenths. Brucey was kind of, I don't know. I think he was just going a bit too wide on the exit and having a bit of a wriggle over that curb. But I'd enter the corner as wide as I could, and right about halfway around the corner, I'd jump on the brakes and then shoot out of it as straight as I could.
Yeah, it was just funny to watch that it was some drivers used it religiously in certain stages of their stint, and some drivers were very reluctant to use it because they were making mistakes that you just spoke of. It was just an interesting point in the race that I found, and Matty Jones was doing it and doing it well, I found.
Yeah, so I ended up between the start line and the right hand sweeper after that, after you go
Yep.
over the hill. So from the start line to that sweeper, I would pull probably 4/10 on both of them, and then the next sector, I didn't have nowhere near as much low speed grip as they did, and they'd just pull it right back, and so the gain ended up over a lap being
Not much.
not much.
Yeah. Well, you're the race winner, mate. So you done everything right.
And it was
Oh,
epic to watch, mind you,
oh.
mate. It was an awesome race to watch.
Yeah, it was great. I was having congratulations with Bruce before, and yeah, feeling good.
Well, mate, it's your turn to thank all the family. And before we go, good luck this week. You've got a little one coming out
Yeah, he's being induced tomorrow.
tomorrow.
He stuck it out and stayed in there so I could do round one.
Well, he's a team player already, mate.
What are you going to call him? Fanatic or Simlab? What's his name going to be?
That's an argument in itself.
Jinx.
I have to wait until he's born, I think.
Well, good luck with that, mate. I hope everything goes to plan, and hope the missus does well out of it all. Go off and thank the sponsors, mate.
Obviously, I'd like to thank our sponsors: Infinity Designs, Precision Sim Training, DC Shades, Relax Marine and Game Fishing, West End Motor Group, and Battery Warehouse, Early Beach. And I'll give a big shout out to Blake Delaney, who helped us do a little practice while watching Bathurst.
Well done, mate. Well done. Congratulations, dude. I'm looking for an epic season from you boys out there, and it's going to be once War Boys and Gamble comes back. I can't wait to see this top 10. The first top 10 shootout we have is going to be spectacular.
It's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Yeah. All right. Take care, mate. Good luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Well,
Well,
Mr.
how good
Gretton,
was that, mate? How good was that? Round one in the books done.
he's round one in the books, ticked off, done. Loved it. Thanks for coming out and calling with me, mate. It's always good to hear your voice again. Except for, hang on. It's always good to hear your voice again and not screaming and going off your nutter on the racetrack with me.
Oh, yeah. There's two sides, as you know, but nah,
There is, mate.
there was no f bombs, there was no little mishaps tonight. So there was a good little cameo.
It was good. It was fun, mate, and I appreciate you coming out with such a short notice. We'll do it again. We'll work something out, and we'll see how Shibby is out there. If he's listening, hopefully everything's going well for you, Shibby, and you're taking care of yourself and the family. Just a quick thing before we take off. I'd like to thank all the drivers for coming out. It's a tough day to come out and race when it's Bathurst out there, and you all want to sit there and watch. And Scops is out, so. Thank you all for participating in the huge numbers. This series has been sold out across all our series. Tuesday night AMs, Wednesday night Formula 3s, 86 series on Thursday night, and the Sunday ProAms. Everything's sold out. So we're going to have a massive grid all year long. I'd like to thank Rare Spares for coming out and enjoying us as a stream sponsor. Warren and Brown Tools, who is our round sponsor for tonight, and round sponsor for all our other series. Also thank Tempting Sweets, Shannon's, who is our stream sponsor for tonight, but also our naming rights sponsor for our Shannon's Formula 3 Nationals and Shannon's Toyota GR86 Nationals. Grim Industries, who supplies our trophies for us and supports us all the way through with everything that they do. Tempting Sweets, that come on board and send the sweets out to everyone. And I can't forget our new sponsor who's joined us for this series, which is Neuropower. And Tristo, thank you for supporting us. And next week we'll have all our overlays back to the originals and updated. It's been a bit of a tough first week with people being away, with school holidays and all sorts of things. And thank you everyone who's out there. Racecraft as well. I've just saw pop up and I did forget you guys. They're our qualifying sponsor. Thank you all for watching. Pete, do you want to say a good night and goodbye?
Yep, it was good. Good for round one. We'll let's do it again some other time. But had a blast, and congrats to the podium, Dyke, Tennick, and Whiting. And I'm sure it's going to be a great season.
Going to be an epic season. And before we forget, congratulations also to Ty Delaney, Joe Marnie, and Andrew Cowie-Cowan for the top 3 steps for the amateurs for tonight as well. Thank you very much, viewers. Thanks for sticking around for us. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget about the Racecraft rig that you can win. And thank you for joining us tonight for the Simrigs V8 Supercar Pro-Am Series Round 1 at Zandvort. Thanks, guys. Stay safe, drive hard, and have fun.
To total on this